What is this I appear to see? Can it possibly be true? Bob, you've come to join the monks with me. Welcome! Bill, you are a drama queen extraordinaire. That was a way to quit a job. Angst, mystery, just perfect timing. I applaud you. I applaud you, and also, I apologize for speaking rudely to you. You were right. I was wrong. It was wrong of me to doubt you. I'm not going to do that again. I will accept that apology, even though I was planning to mock you for a little bit, but you've just kind of stole the fun right out of it. But good to see you here anyway. Listen, you are the most rational, most logical, and most intelligent Kerbal I have ever known. You've never done anything without a purpose and a plan. So I know you coming here, you have a purpose and you have a plan. Will you share it with me? What are you doing here? What I'm doing here. I'm doing here exactly what I told you. I'm seeking answers. Answers about Black Monolith. Speaking of, hey, did you talk to Zarius Armstrong? What do you think about him? Yeah, I did talk to him. Yeah, I guess you saw him on the news. Yeah, I did. Zarius Armstrong. Good kid. Intelligent, adventurous, ambitious. I wish he was a Kerbanon, man. And he does not have a deceptive bone in his body. He is telling the truth as he understands it. He climbed a mountain. He saw a black monolith. He walked inside it. It was not solid. It was like air. And the thing talked to him. It told him that Kerbal spacecraft have awakened the Kraken. The Kraken returns. After which, the black monolith disappeared. It is no longer there. Yeah, I figured it would disappear just like the first one. So obviously, Bill, you saw some of this stuff coming. I'm thinking to myself, I'm wondering, why do you want to come here to the Order of the Moon and talk to these guys? Why do you think that they know something that the rest of Kerbin doesn't? Good question, Bob. You know that these monks, that they collect artifacts, and they have been for thousands of years, right? Yes, I knew that. This is the oldest building on all of Kerbin, isn't it? Yes. Okay, everybody knows that nobody can take any pictures of this stuff. You can't measure it. But people are allowed to talk about some of these artifacts that are in there. I was doing some reading. I was doing a searching for anything that could possibly have to do with black monoliths. I came across a written description of an artifact in this place. Black stone, vertical, rectangular. Dimensions are 1 by 4 by 9. Sound familiar? Stone, you say? But the ones we've encountered, and yes, I accept that you and I, we encountered a real one. They were the furthest thing from stone. They weren't even solid. Right, yeah. So I figured that the artifact which is hidden in here is simply an artist's representation. Somebody saw a black monolith at some point in the past, and he carved a chunk of stone to look like it. I'll tell you, my purpose here is to learn about that artifact and others, to try and find out who saw these things, when did they see them, in what context. That's my plan. I'm going to be nice to these guys. I'm going to learn anything that they choose to teach me with an open mind. You know what? I kind of like the fresh air and the tranquility. It's a really very pleasant, quiet place. Yeah, I imagine it is. Wow. So you don't have any answers yet. I've been here less than a week. They haven't told me anything yet. I'm just still sweeping floors. I'm private 0th class. Right. So you can stay here for a while. Eventually you rise up the ranks. You become student first class or something like that. They got different terms for it, but yeah, that's pretty much the thing. So you're still working on this problem. I came here actually thinking that I was going to apologize to you, that I was going to try to talk you into coming back to your job. Bob, I am doing my job. I am seeking answers to the questions facing the agency, and this is the best place for it. You got all these other young hotshots out there ready to fly around known space and seek the answers elsewhere. Let me be here and find out where people have already been. Speaking of that, hey, Bob, tell me, what's going on with the buildings in the crater? Have you been there? Have you seen it? I may have expected the black monolith. That thing caught me totally by surprise. What is it? Oh, Bill, Okay, I kind of put the brakes on people. They wanted to completely stop all work that we had with everything that was going on, and everybody's gonna load up a bunch of airplanes, fly over there, and set up camp. I convinced them to take it slow, set up an expedition, carefully. Obviously, the thing's been there for years. It's, if it waits a few more days, a couple more weeks, it's not gonna hurt anything. So, no, we haven't sent anybody there yet. It's coming soon, but right now, I convinced them that the best thing we can do right now is to continue our planned program of exploration. We're going to go ahead and send scansats to Moon and Minus. We're going to set up communication satellites, and eventually we're going to send them to other planets too. Well, good on you for not chickening out of that. Lesser Kerbal might have decided to stick his head in the sand. Refuse to see anything more. Right. Hey, do your monk friends here, if they know something about black monoliths, do they know anything about a Kraken? No, Bob. I actually talked to my teacher, and he said he was going to go talk to his teachers, and they asked him anything about a Kraken. The answer comes back down that as far as anybody around here is concerned, the Kraken is a completely mythological creature. A boogeyman invented at some point in the past to explain bad things happening. Something goes wrong for no apparent reason. You say the Kraken got it. I was really hoping for more than that. Well, very possibly they know things they aren't telling me, and very possibly some of the archives in here, once you interpret it, maybe they know something that they don't even know they know. Right. Bill, I am so glad you're not crazy. I am so glad you're working on this. Thank you for that. And as soon as I learn anything that I am allowed to explain, you will be the very first person to know.
And so here we are, a little bit of drama out of the way. I'm not going to dwell on the weeks-long absence. We'll just pretty much ignore that and just get into the story. Continue with this save file, Legend of the Kraken. You see here that what I did is I went and I've fast-forwarded this save file. I put it up to, well, first I put it up to year 58, and at year 58, I launched a bunch of stuff. I put our basic bare bones communication satellites there. Actually, in the 2 years since, that one's moved some. These things, one of them moved. These things used to be 60 degrees apart. There's a lander on the Minmus. There's a lander on the Moon. This says Station Adventure Reborn, but that's actually the components which are still in orbit. They're awaiting a new core, which that's going to happen pretty soon. Actually, see here on our alarm clock, what's coming up on the itinerary very soon. VAB number 2 is going to be constructed. This will allow me to build rockets up to 300 tons. It's total payload and lifter. And just very soon after that, actually the next day, we have out of VAB number 1, we're going to be doing another commsat. Originally I thought that I was going to be sending a commsat to like Moon or Minmus, but actually I've changed that plan. I want to go ahead and get set up right now another communication satellite for Kerbin. So in the meantime, I just learned about Molnia orbits. Genuine space geeks who actually know this stuff. I already knew about them, but I just learned about them. And I want to put a big interplanetary commsat up into a Molnia orbit in order to allow us talk to the system in general. When this allowed this mod, the transfer window planner, I used that to figure out when there were a whole bunch of these transfers. I want to start getting some of those. We're going to start sending some scientific packages to these different places. So here we are. Yeah, year 60, day number 3. Most of the stuff launched a couple years ago, except for the ScanSat. Kerbin ScanSat launched about 2 weeks ago. It was 17 days ago. There we go. Let me see. Also, another thing that I've done: turn the unknown objects off, turn space objects on. Okay, so we've got 2. No, yeah, we've 2 of these rocks, which are orbiting Kerbin itself. And then just while I was fast forwarding, I decided to keep about 50 of these. I don't think it's about. I think it's exactly. Yeah, it's exactly 50 of the nearer Kerbin asteroids, and I watched over the years as they generally spread out. So we've got a good belt for Kerbin, and we'll see, because this storyline is probably going to continue over a span of several years. We may be re-encountering some of those. See, my plan is, I'm just going to do this kind of quick and dirty. I'm going to use an atlatl. I went and I revised my atlatl series, something that I should have done. Hello, load atlatl series. Oh, is this not working? Something just crashed a little bit ago. Now, is this not working? Let's cease recording. Okay, bug fix. We'll come back. Oh, I'm back. I pulled up the atlatl 5 instead of the 3. I made a revision to the design, something that really sensibly I should have done before. Removed the hydrogen and I made the Dart upper stage is now powered by hypergolics. We're using this with the Aerosine 50, is that what we're calling it? Yeah. Aerosine 50, and I believe it's nitrogen tetroxide, although I could be wrong. I often am about these things. I was working on a deal where I was trying to figure out how to put together a good-looking communication satellite, and then I realized, actually, here's my plan. Really, I should have put this together. I am going to say that, you know, because I'm not actually using remote tech, I can say that any of these dishes have whatever range I want them to have. I'm going to say that this mass 1.0 dish has enough juice to get all over the solar system. Pull that off there. Put the dish onto there. Good. And our payload fairing flares out, but not unnecessarily. And let's grab 2 more. And stick them on there on the side. Oh, is that going to flare out really ugly like? Can we put it like that? Oh my god, is that ugly? Oh yeah, we could do it like that. That'd be kind of cool. Oh, those work. Yeah, that fits. One for talking to other satellites, one for talking to Kerman, and this one, see, for example, this one will be just the dish for just one planet. And so we'll have one of these to be specifically per planet. There we go. Let's pull that off of there. Yeah, so my VAB1 does the smaller satellites, and at the moment I want it to focus on communication satellites and also scanning sats for Moon and Minmus. VAB2 to be constructed in just a couple of days, that does the larger rockets, and at the moment I want that to focus on doing this stuff for the space station. Matter of fact, let's just go look for the space station. What I have assembled right now while we're talking about it. Adventure Reborn. Oh, come on, game, let's go. The game does this huge loading pause. How much RAM are we using at the moment? Come on, that's hardly scary at all. All right, RAM usage mod. The display is valuable. All right, so we got, here's all our old obsolete Dart stages. Lost almost all their fuel as it's very slowly leaching away. Really, these things been orbiting over a year. Probably all that fuel should have been entirely gone. But yeah, we're not using that hydrogen anymore. Anyway, all right, orbit. There we go. Okay, so so there's our crew tunnel and docking adapter. Here's a general utility part. We've got a whole bunch of Kerbal attachment toolboxes, as well as I welded a bunch of parts together using the part welding mod. So it has a whole bunch of battery power and some ginormous solar panels. And here's another smaller docking adapter that's full of monopropellants. Lots and lots and lots of monopropellants. So we'll never run low on that. Okay, and so these guys, they still have a bunch of monopropellant in there, so these guys should be, even with the fuel is rapidly disappearing, it should still be good enough to dock to the station core once I get that thing up there. All right, let's pull my alarm clock back up so I can see what's happening. And it's telling me I want to update. A bunch of my stuff is kind of outdated because I don't know. I didn't want to go through the entire process of updating a whole bunch of mods again. I really wanted to get in. Now that I'm actually in a position where I can record, I want to do it. Whee! Around and around it goes. Isn't that fun? Ain't that cool? Let's go to the map view and watch it spin around and around that way. Whee! There it goes. Isn't that fun? So yeah, I don't want to use the Kerbal construction time mod. I did look at it. Honestly, it adds more features than I want to make use of. But I do like the idea of having to space out your launches and stuff. Okay, so now I'm saying that VAB number 2 has been. Oh, what the hell is this? No. Oh, that's very bad. Something seriously bad just happened here, guys. Can we load? What happens if I load the last quick save? I hope this. Maybe I should have thought about this. I hope this doesn't set me back to like year 58 or something. 59 day 350. Okay, here's our scan sat. Yeah, loading that quick save actually put us considerably far back. Why was my alarm clock? My alarm clock did not gradually slow us down. Okay, well, you know, I'm going to cease recording while I fix this. Okay, and I'm back. So, yeah, here I've been recording the actual gameplay, not that little drama earlier. Recording actual gameplay for something like 15 minutes. The game has crashed twice, and I've had to load up my last backup save file once. So, I think I remember, yeah, I decided previous experimentation stuff in order to prevent that kind of instability. Let's do this extensive fast forwarding here at the tracking station. KSP, I love you, but you can be a real bitch to work with. I just want you to know that. Okay, so what I want to do, now that VAB2 has been constructed, I want to load up, let me see, where'd my station module 1? We need to get VAB number 2 working on getting this ready to launch. There we go. Okay, yeah, so here's our revised. There we go. Oh, that doesn't look revised. Why the hell is that thing full of hydrogen? Damn it. Oh, I remember, I forgot to save this part. Okay, hang on. That's the old Atlatl 10. Yeah, here is our new space station core. That is station module 1 for Adventure Reborn. It weighs between 7.5 and 10 tons. Therefore, I'm going to use Atlatl 10. Come over here to my sub-assemblies. Go to the one where I saved all my new Atlatls, and I look at this one. I'm going to use this one. I almost looked at the wrong one. And that's CF, the complexity factor of 282, using my super secret formula, which probably isn't so secret. People figure it out pretty fast. And 282 means that it's going to take. At first, I'm going to load into the into the alarm clock. It's going to take 282 hours to get this rocket ready to launch. It doesn't need to be up in the air like that. Drop it down there like that. There we go. Make certain that our delta V numbers make sense. They do. Let's save that. Okay, so that'll 282, and then whenever it comes time to launch, then we'll have a slightly random event. We'll find out whether the launch has been delayed. But first, I'm going to put that 282 hours from now. I want the alarm clock to go off and tell me that this rocket is ready to launch. I figured that the payloads were put together, months, possibly years ago. It's the actually assembling them to the rockets, to the lifters. That's what's happening in the vehicle assembly building. And again, we'll watch things spin around while waiting for Molnia 1 to be ready to launch. Okay, close alarm. And now this one, okay, so this is when it was scheduled to launch. Now I go off screen for just a little bit, and I find, I apply my super secret formula with a little dice rolling program to find out what kind of a launch delay might be on there. Let's add, and this one it's not so bad. There's just about a 6-hour delay to that. Because real world launches, you notice that these things are always delayed. Well, not always, but I bet you there's more launches that are delayed than actually go right on time. And I've set this up so that the larger, more complicated the rocket, then the greater chance of there being a delay, and the longer the delay can be. You know, for a small, simple rocket, the delays will probably can be like no more than a few hours, but the large rocket, the one that takes weeks to assemble, then the delay can possibly be a couple of weeks again if they find problems that they need to fix. All right, now this time it genuinely is ready to launch. So let's go ahead and do that, huh? So the first thing I want to do is I want to put this thing into a regular polar orbit. And then once it's actually over the pole, then we'll do a bunch more burning, and we'll go into high Molniya orbit. I actually don't care whether the high part of the orbit is over the north or south pole. Either one will work for my purposes. I should choose. Do I want to go north or south? I think I'll go south. Launch. Yeah, and I see that it does have slightly higher thrust to weight ratio than I'm accustomed to seeing, but I did this deliberately and make this thing. This is the Atlatl 5 that I'm using, but the payload's really just those dishes, those comm dishes. So payload's only like 3 tons. So that's because I need to have significant delta V reserve, specifically for. Here I need to go like this, angle over this way. Yeah, for putting it into that high Molniya orbit. Okay, ditch the SRBs. Oh, don't pull too hard. Ooh, okay. That started to get kind of scary. Imminent danger of losing control of my rocket. Approaching Mach 3, but you can see the equivalent airspeed dropping down to where I know it's going to be not so dangerous to be pitched more. Whenever it hits 40 kilometers, I like to switch over to the orbital view. Yeah, see, I need to pull that direction indicator further over to get it actually on the 180 degree line. Up on 80, you're pretty fast here. Yep. Get rid of those payload fairings. There's a bunch of satellite dishes. That works. Goes over like this. Let's roll right side up. Really, there's no reason for doing this. Putting the nav ball upside down while launching one of these rockets. The only reason is because after doing the space shuttles, I got so accustomed to reading the nav ball that way through launch. It just that's the way it feels natural and comfortable to me. Close the FAR window. Okay, yeah, the other innovation which I've recently done, I've started using these. I put my little Retrotrons from the Perfectron pack. Just because real rockets do that. That's something I've typically ignored, is putting the retro rockets on things. But hey, I think it looks kind of cool. It pulls it out of the way so there's no possibility of any dangerous interaction between the upper stage's exhaust. It looks like I'll have maybe just a little less than 2,000 meters per second of delta V to work with after I get this into a circular orbit. Okay, I will go up to about 200. We'll do a circularization from there. Alright, that's cool. Yeah, so I'll have... Yeah, one of these dishes will be for talking to Kerbin. One of these dishes will be talking to other commsats. And this dish will be for pointing at one of the other planets. So I'll just do one of these for each planet. Alright. Close enough to circular for my tastes for this project. Okay, so just because, let me see, it's going down here. Let's go ahead and let's give ourselves a maneuver node down here. Add a maneuver. And we're gonna go a prograde. See? Oh wow, maybe I may have lowballed this. Here, let's just do it this way. What if I just go ahead and add? I probably won't be maneuvering this thing after the fact, right? Let's leave ourselves a little bit of reserve. If I just do 1800. Wow, I was kind of looking for something more than that. I should have done some math beforehand. What happens if we do 1900? Yep. The periapsis down there, 205, which is enough to keep out of trouble. Tell you what, let's just so in case I want to do something surprising later on, yeah, let's go with, let's say 1850. How about that? You know, the next thing that I need to do, actually, now that we've got that launch done, now we've got this burn scheduled, is I need to figure out what is the very next thing that we're going to launch out of VAB1, which is, I probably want to go for something that I'm going to send to the moon, probably a communications satellite or a scan sat. See, I'm figuring in my system that these guys are just Kerbin's regular scan sats are capable of communicating out to the moon and Minmus, but I also want to have some orbiting the moon and Minmus themselves. So let's go ahead and let's try and figure that out. Yeah, 3,000 meters per second delta V to get from low Kerbin orbit to moon orbit. And if I remember correctly, these simple little commsats that I put together, they have 3,000, don't they? Yeah, that's right. That was the old version of the Woomera rocket, which I'm not using, so we'll just discard that. Yeah, 3,500. Here's the other series. I was calling these Woomera, but somebody tells me that that is not the way it is pronounced. See, I never heard it spoken, only seen it in writing. So it's a Woomera. I hope I'm saying that correctly. There we go. Alright, save that. And so that's using the Woomera 1 launcher, which is complexity factor of 59. So 59 hours from now, I want to have this one ready to go. And we'll do a ComSat 1. We'll send it to the moon. And add alarm. Yeah, so probably, it looks like, yeah, so that's like 2 days. We'll get like a few of those done before, a few of these ComSats, but like, like maybe all 3 that I want for the moon, before we launch the station core. Cool. So now we've got the beginnings of an itinerary, stuff that we're going to be doing in order to investigate the mysteries and monoliths and Krakens and all sorts of other good stuff. Enough of that. Let's get back into here and let's get this burn done. Let's do some fast forwarding. Node burn time, 1 minute and 2 seconds. Okay, so yeah, I'll wait till 31 seconds before the node. One of the best features of the Kerbal Engineer right there. Telling you exactly how long the burn will be. As I've always been disappointed that the stock games estimate is off so much. I'm glad that the procedural parts now has these gold foil textures with the bump mapping. I don't have to mess around with my kind of rather pitiful experiments with it, as we have people who actually know what they're doing have made some quality textures for those. And we're leaving just 50 meters per second in the tank for later. So at the moment, I'm planning that as I do episodes for this Chapter 3 in the greater The Legend of the Kraken. Okay, so the introduction had the Kerbal drama, the dialogue, and this episode had some. It really is a whole lot of exposition that I have to get through. I am not planning on doing one of those for every episode. I'm doing, well, here, to see that I've got a whole bunch of launches to do until we get to the Crater Expedition in 40 days' time. That's the next dialogue I want to do. I don't have anything important that my Kerbals need to say until then. They're still chewing over the... Oh, whoa, hang on, what happened? I should have been paying attention to this. I completely forgot to look at that. Oh well, it didn't hurt anything. I was off looking at this and the thing is just burning away. Alright, yeah, so just forget everything I said about having a Delta V reserve. Didn't need it anyway. Orbital period, 8 hours. It's not much of a Molniya orbit. If the orbital period is even, it's less than 1 day. It's kind of disturbing to me. I really want to do better. So okay, we'll call this our first try at our Molniya orbit ComSat. I think I want to go back and say, okay, well, lesson learned, 1900 meters per second delta V is not enough. We want to do better with subsequent designs. And also, you should pay attention in the middle of a burn. Okay, yeah, anyway, I'm not going to be doing the recording the dialogue for probably the next few more episodes, as I've got a whole bunch of launches of all these little guys, a bunch of moon commsats, and also want to start sending scan sats to Moon and Minmus. I suppose maybe okay, now I'm starting to revise my plan. We might have some drama whenever they start getting information back from a Moon scan sat, but even that's like several launches away. But hey, yeah, it's good to record, good to be talking to people. We'll be doing some more soon. Talk to you then. Bye.